Hallo ihr Lieben, so, ich habe mir hier jetzt mal unseren lieben Josh geschnappt, weil er kann die Dinge so gut erklären und dachte mir, er ist jetzt der beste Mann, um ein paar Dinge aufzuklären, weil ich bin mir ganz sicher, dass ihr oder dass einige von euch, wie ich vielleicht auch, nicht ganz genau wissen, was ist Nourish the Children, was ist Safi, was ist die Force for Good, und er kann uns das jetzt ganz genau erklären. So, wir starten mal mit Nourish the Children. Josh, can you tell the guys what is Nourish the Children exactly? What is a for-profit foundation?
Yeah.
Maybe you can explain that at first.
Sure. So, first of all, the way to think about it is even backing up, if you're going to make the most good in the world, how do you do it? The most good in the world is going to happen if it's sustainable and if there's a way that it can be funded without only asking for funds all the time, right? So, Nu Skin has created this really neat model for an initiative called Nourish the Children. It's not a registered nonprofit, it's not its own foundation, where they have a mission to be able to feed children.
Mm-hmm.
And the best way to do that, again, is by not having somewhere that you have to be seeking funding all the time and something that can't be repeatable or renewable. And so Nu Skin has created the Vitamil product as a way to be able to sell a product and make commission off of it, and then with that commission and that profit, able to fund the other operational aspects of Nourish the Children. So it's a for-profit company selling a for-profit product with a social good.
Yes.
So it's a socially good product, but it's not necessarily coming from nonprofit. That being said, 2 years ago, we finally added a donation element from every bag of Vitamil. So every 30 meal bag has a $2 donation that goes to the Force for Good Foundation. So it still ties back to the initiatives of the Force for Good Foundation, and then every 10 meal bag goes to $1 to the foundation.
Okay. So this is a good bridge to the Force for Good, because Force for Good, this is a charity.
Correct.
This is just living by donates.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we have several of them throughout the world. We have the one in America that Europe and the Americas funnels their funds in through. But we also have one for the heart funds in China and Taiwan and Hong Kong. And that is purely a registered charity in the United States. That's a tax write-off every time you donate to it. It has all those benefits behind it.
Yeah.
And it operates with mostly board members and employees of Nu Skin that have independent jobs at Nu Skin, but then also serve
Ja,
the
okay.
foundation.
Let me explain. Also, das bedeutet, Nourish the Children ist eine For-Profit. Also das ist keine Charity, sondern unsere Force for Good. Das läuft wirklich über Spenden, wo man ganz normal Geld spenden kann und in verschiedene Projekte läuft. Und Nourish the Children ist quasi eigentlich wie ein wirtschaftliches System, Naima, kann man das so sagen?
Ja,
Also,
kann man so sagen.
ja, da wird wirklich mit dem Kauf eines Vitamils wird quasi alles drumherum gebaut, ob es die Produktion, das Lager ist, die Verteilung ist. Und jetzt gehen wir nochmal zurück zu Nourish the Children. Back to Nourish the Children. Josh, how many, because I thought there are maybe 1 or 2 villages
Right.
that we visit, but you told me there are 1,800 in this region.
Yeah, in Malawi, we service 1,800 schools, essentially, for children that are 5 years old and younger,
Wow.
to receive Vitamil. But then we also produce Vitamil in Asia, and we produce it in America for South America.
Okay. And how called the guys who manage the villages?
Oh, yeah, the AIDAs. Is that what you're talking about?
AIDAs, yeah.
Yeah, they're the government officials that are responsible for the different villages that help report back to us which villages need the most help.
Okay, you said there is one for each village?
Yeah, so every village has every family of villages, so 5 to 25 villages will have one government official that's helping monitor the progress of that one. So,
Okay, so he's the leader from the villages.
it's a government official that they're reporting into. Not necessarily anyone they see as a leader. They don't have a chief title or anything like that. But it's the way that the government is wanting to make sure they keep track of the people. So when COVID hit, how do you tell a village that has no internet or phones, COVID? Or how do you stop an outbreak of any sort of disease? And they do it through these IADAs. And then we work with the organization called Feed the Children, who has a close connection to the IADAs and helps distribute Vitamil that way.
Yeah, and they choose the villages, right?
Right.
who becomes the Vitamil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They choose them based off of several criteria, but who's most in need and who's able to utilize it the best. And so they need to have access to clean water in order to produce Vitamil. In the villages that don't have it, P&G, Procter & Gamble, actually provides the water filtration systems to be able to have the water purified for the Vitamil. And then once a village has it, our hope is that they always have it. We don't want them to ever get used to having it and then have it taken away.
Okay. Maybe you know the numbers, because I forgot it from yesterday.
Yeah.
The numbers when they start or before the Vitamils, how many kids was in school and what changed since that donate the Vitamils.
Yeah. The statistic that we hear the most is, this is always interesting to me, there's always more children in the village the next year after Vitamil is there. And it's weird to think that the children that are nursed that are a little bit older help make it so that the children younger survive. I think it's because the mothers have more opportunity now to be with those older children. Like, now that you can send your older child to school and they can be there for a few hours, it makes the mother much more available for the younger children if they're still home. So about 20% increase in in children each year. There's always more girls than there is boys. I don't understand why. And then their nourishment also. At the age of 5 is when your body develops the most, at that brain and body stage. And I learned this today from Feed the Children, that if you nourish a child to the full nutrition when they're 5 years old, your body remembers that and keeps you growing at that pace the rest of your life. If you give a child Vitamil starting at 6 years old, they remain the stunted growth the rest of their life. So like that 5-year-old age is like pivotal in helping make sure they get nourished then.
And they make tests, right? They test the child how they
twice
are.
a year. The government requires a test, and then we also just receive the information from the test. They measure their arm circumference, their weight and their height.
The weight and the height.
And then there's certain metrics that they're supposed to stay between. And then if a child's not doing well enough, they take them actually to a hospital and try to figure out if there's another reason that they're not performing well.
So one Vitamil is not just a meal, it is so much more. And maybe Josh, can you explain a little bit from Safi?
Sure.
Because we see that today. Safi is, how's the name?
School of Agriculture for Family Independence.
Okay, so you learn the families, how they live in their village, right?
Yeah.
Can you explain that a bit?
Sure. So we want to feed children. We want to give them Vitamil. We need to be able to have ingredients for Vitamil, right? It requires corn, it requires soy. So what's the best way for us to be able to do that? It's by teaching mothers and fathers, a family unit of 2 people, how to produce the most that they can produce for more than just their own household. So those families, we have a school in Malawi that in 2 different ways teaches them. There's a group that will come to the Safi campus that we'll be going to tomorrow, where families come and they live there for a period of a year and they get trained every single day on the different practices, and then the hope is they go back to their villages and then they teach that to them. And then there's another way called the extension program, where it's actually with the Ayedas again, that they are being taught the different practices, and then they go to the villages and they have lead farmers in the villages teaching them how to do it with their family. We've actually found the success is actually equal, like to train them in their own village versus train them at Safi has both been doing really well. And so then once they're able to produce more than they need for themselves, they can now sell that extra soya bean and sell the extra corn, and they sell it to the Vitamil factory. So now that Vitamil factory is able to produce that extra raw ingredients into what we turn into Vitamil to take out to all the children. So it's a full cyclical process that makes it so we always have that there. And it makes it so the families now have a dollar income. So if you're not growing tomatoes, you can go buy them now in the...
And the Safi, the campus and the teaching, this is all the Force for Good, right?
Yeah, it's funded from the Force for Good Foundation.
Okay.
We're essentially their primary donor.
Okay, and how many families are in the campus?
On the campus at one time, it's like 12 to 15. But then teaching out in the extension pieces, there's usually about 45 each year. And then if you imagine each of those people are teaching their village from there, it grows really quick. You know, like one person teaching 5 people grows quickly.
It's like network marketing. You show it another and you split it and duplicate it. That's great, amazing. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Josh.
Thank you.
Sorry that